Yes, sir.
So do you have a spinning rod?
Yes, I do.
So you run breed
Yes.
with an FG knot. You know what an FG knot is?
Nope.
Okay, so you're going to look up an FG knot.
Yep.
Okay? I'm going to toss this to you so you don't touch anything that I need to touch. You ready? I'm going to toss it over here.
Yep.
Grab the. That's an FG knot.
Okay.
It's called the FG because it's called fine grip.
All right.
So look on it. It's the only knot you need to know about joining braided line
Okay.
to any monofilament. Say it to me. What is
What?
it?
An FG knot.
FG knot.
Yes.
And that's what you do. So when you're fishing cold water situations like I fish, and I fish for, you know, basically a living. So the issue is this. So you have your leader, and these are called a feel or a slip bobber. Okay. So what you control the depth of this thing is there's two collars. See these collars?
Yep.
So I can slide these collars anywhere I want on this entire line, and then let's say I want to fish 1.5 feet deep.
Yep.
Pin it, pull the line down, put the other one in like that. Okay?
Okay.
So how would I know if this jig, which is a hair jig, is on the bottom? What's the bobber gonna do? So if you have weight straight down, is the bobber gonna be straight up?
No.
If you have weight straight down.
If you have weight straight down, yeah.
Yes.
And
so
then
if it's on the bottom, what's the bobber gonna do?
It's gonna tilt.
Lay like that. So you basically adjust your line while you're casting at the areas you want to catch fish until your bobber is straight up and down.
Okay.
So if you cast out and it does that, you know you set it too deep. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
And so you basically want to fish the areas where your bobber is just like that, right on the edge. So if you cast out, and in these cold waters, I'm telling you, you would be absolutely surprised. So watch. That bobber sits straight up.
Yeah.
Okay? And this is the technique that you will catch literally every fish that's around here on that. So I just moved it up a foot. So let's go to an area where I'm definitely going to be on the bottom. What's going to happen?
Just gonna tilt.
Take a look at the bobber.
Yep.
Okay, so the bobber is going to tell you what depth you want to be at. So, and that is what you basically use to determine. So you know, right there. Now watch. You know it's 3 feet deep there, and you come up here.
Ah.
People think bobber fishing's stupid, but bobber fishing is pretty fucking smart.
Seems like the smartest way to do it.
It is the smartest because essentially in the springtime, what are fish doing? Fish are not orienting to the bottom. You're throwing a whole bunch of bottom bouncing. I saw all the shit you're throwing. I'm like, you're in elementary school.
Yeah.
You want to get a PhD, but the issue is the learning curve is pretty severe. So, you know, the YouTube's amazing because 40 years ago I didn't have the YouTube. I learned all this shit on my own. So the issue is that's what you need to concentrate on. So in the springtime, are the fish focused on the bottom or the surface? No, the temperature of the water.
Well, yeah, I would figure if it's, well, I mean, what's relatively like bass spawning water temperature? 64?
The temperature of the water. So what heats up first, the bottom or the top?
The top.
So where do you think the fish are first?
Well, they're going to be on the top.
Exactly. So do you think I want this thing on the bottom?
No.
Yeah. So those lures you're throwing, those jigs and everything else like that, everything else, think they're the most effective things?
No.
Not at all.
No.
So the issue is you want mid-column to surface.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying surface in regards to that thing you were throwing.
Oh, the duck?
Which I have caught a lot of things on those lures. Crazy shit, but not this time of the year.
Yeah.
So you want to be, so basically I'll use this thing and I'll go, I'm going out, I cast out. And I know it's, see how it's hitting just a little on the side there?
Yeah.
So I know that's basically very close to the bottom. So what would I do next? If you were not fishing on the bottom, but you were expecting to be a fish that's in this...
Slide my bobber down.
Exactly. So you split the distance by half. So you know this is halfway down in the water column.
Okay.
And that's when you start catching fish.
All right. So
and now, I don't want to talk over you. But
No, you're good. You're good. You're the teacher here.
I do
So
seminars all the time.
I got you.
So the issue is, if I cast this thing out and we're in 40-degree weather, do you think a fish is going to chase it?
no,
So what do you think your best presentation is?
just either
Almost-
stagnant or
Almost
just
dead still,
super light.
or you basically go like this. You go.
Yeah.
And that's what you do. And I'm telling you this because when you go down to the Mohawk,
Okay.
so that's what you need to do.
So it's just because the water's just super cold right now. And they're
Super
just not
cold.
active.
But you have to understand, fish in a river system, a moving water system, are less affected by temperature than ones in a static system. And this is a static system. What controls the level of the lake is right there.
Yeah.
So the issue is there's a thermal mass, meaning that out there in 10, 12 feet of water, that water is never going to turn over until the summertime, you know, and everything else.
Yeah.
But in a river, what happens? That water's moving
Right.
all the time. So you have a consistent water temperature essentially from the bottom to the top.
Yeah.
Where out there's a difference between the top to the bottom of like 8 or 10 degrees. So in the springtime, is it the best place, static water for fish?
No.
Nope. You want to fish where the most consistent
You want something
water
with some
temperature is,
flowage?
where it's flowing. Okay? So now when you go out on the Mohawk, I catch a lot of these because in bright lights during from like 10 to like 5, the fish are really not active. They want something that basically just sits in front of their face, and the current basically is moving this jig down the water like that,
Yeah.
you know, in the column, and all of a sudden the jig will just go slowly drop down, and guess what? Reel upset the hook. Now, for the reaction baits in the river,
With this,
is I have a braided line that I run to monofilament to fluorocarbon leader with an FG knot,
Yep.
suspending crankbaits. Why suspending crankbaits? Because watch up here. I'm not trying to get into COVID central here. Okay? Now watch what happens with this crankbait. You ready?
Yep.
That's sitting right there. Do you see how utterly still that is in the water?
Yep.
Now watch. Is it rising, falling, or anything else like that?
It's slowly rising, but
So basically, if you were walking into a pizza place and you wanted to buy a pizza, would you chase a slice of pizza that's running through the pizza place, or would you grab it that's sitting at a table? Do you
grab it if
understand
it's.
how stupid simple this is?
Yeah, no, it's really simple. It's funny because I actually threw these a couple times, but
So the issue is you want a suspending jerk bait
yep.
that basically goes down 2 or 3 feet where you want it. Like, so this is a 2-hook series, which is the ones I like.
Mhm.
But I can cast out, and with rapidly jigging it in, I can get this thing down 2 or 3 feet, and then I bring it in and I stop it. And then with braided line, because there's no stretch, what do you think I'm looking? Do you think I'm waiting for the rod tip to twitch?
No, you're waiting for your line to
No
go.
shit. I'm waiting for that line to twitch.
Right.
Okay, as soon as that line twitches, reel up, set the hook.
And that's just because braid sits on the top.
Well, braid floats, and that's what's
Yeah.
a great thing. Because fluorocarbon, what does fluorocarbon do? Sinks. Monofilament, medium density,
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily float or sink, depends on the weight of the lure.
Right.
So you need to watch these things. I'm going to give you 3 sites to look at. You ready? Wired2fish.com, anglersedge.com, and then whatever the fuck you else want to look at.
Okay.
You porn, you sex, I don't care. Those 2, you understand?
I got you.
You will learn everything you need to know
Okay.
on those 2 sites.
All right.
And that's basically what you need to do, because that lure still hasn't come up to the surface.
Right.
Okay? And it's sitting there dead still. And you think about it, you're a 4-pound, 5-pound bass, and you're coming up, all the minnows and everything else are relating to the temperature that they're in, and they're less active.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think they're going to be feeding on?
Oh,
Mid-column, fish sitting right there.
yeah.
And that's what you need to do.
Okay.
You're gonna pay me for this teaching episode? So, but I mean, that's essentially what you need to know about the whole thing. Because if you go out there and I take my boat out here, I got a kayak I take out here.
Yeah.
I'll fish these jerk baits off the edges of the drop-offs
Mm-hmm.
and simply slam them.
I would fish like near seaweed beds because that's where you normally get more. That's where you get the fish at. Like,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I've been fishing since I was 4.
Good. So, what did I say, Joe? Give me the website.
I don't know. It's on here.
Oh, you've been recording? You
Yes.
Son of
Yes,
a
sir.
Bitch.
I've been recording the whole
YouTube.
time.
You put that on
No,
YouTube.
no, no. This is just for my own
You
instructional.
put that on YouTube. I want a credit.
Listen, if
CJOutdoors.net.
if it gets uploaded,
You understand?
I would absolutely drop that in there. Website, all that.
Yeah, you understand?
Absolutely. Yes,
But, I
sir.
mean, that's what you need, because in this water temperature, it's presentation, lure choice, and that's essentially it.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've been getting way too in depth in this.
Well, it's not. Well, there's. Wow, oh my God! You just figured it out for me. Listen, I couldn't remember the third, and I felt stupid about it. You ready? I felt stupid. You just told me. The third one is in-depth outdoors. Okay. Those three sites are basically going to take you from, an elementary education to a high school, college education.
Okay.
Just by watching those sites.
All right.
So, Angler's Edge, Wired to Fish, in-depth outdoors.
Okay.
And those guys are just amazing fishermen. And I'll do it on YouTube and tell you, I've fished with most of them. So the issue is they know what they need to do. So remember, FG knot.
Yep.
Braid the fluorocarbon. Do what I say. Go down to the river.
You're the only person that's ever even.
And just to show you, I mean, to think that it's not an addiction, okay? There's 500 beans,
Yeah.
in jerk baits.
Yeah.
So if you don't think that it's worth having jerk baits in the springtime,
Yeah.
and look at all the sites, jerk baits are the baits
Okay.
in the springtime. And if not, when on high light conditions or conditions that are not early in the day or late in the day, fishing those hair jigs under bobbers, killer.
Are those hair jigs just fly jigs?
Well, listen, I'm going to tell you something that you'll probably not understand, but maybe the viewers will. So there's a guy named Bobby Nichols.
Okay.
Bobby Nichols was a guy who was in Tennessee, Kentucky, that area, and he designed this system that was called the float and fly. And the float and fly was a system for fishing for smallmouth bass in extreme cold temperatures, almost basically up to the ice fishing season. But they didn't have ice fishing down there. And basically there was dolls that were called troll dolls, and you were too young to remember these things, but there were dolls that had troll hair.
Oh, okay.
And the hair off them were these fine synthetic hairs. And they found out that in water, these jigs pulsed, meaning you moved them a little bit and the hair went like that.
Yeah.
And you basically fished them underneath a float, just like I did. He used a pear type float. I use the pencil type float.
Yeah.
I like them better because they fish them in deep, deep water down there. I don't fish them less than 5 or 6 feet because the water isn't deep enough around here to do that. But the issue is, that's the hair jig. That's what's called the troll hair on the back.
Okay.
I'm going to toss one to you. I'm not going to charge you for it, but they don't make them anymore. But the issue is I make my own.
Oh.
And that's what it is. And you'll put it in the water. And now this one has a sculpin color with a little orange from a crayfish and a little blonde hair on it. And it works everywhere you want it. They make them in every different size. I've got, every different color and size here, and I make my own.
That's cool.
But that's what you want underneath these jigs. Underneath the floats. Okay?
Yeah.
Now the next you're going to say is, what type of bobbers do I get? You ready? Son of a... Oh, here I do. I actually have some. I'll let you look at it, but you got to throw it back.
Yeah. That's fine.
So that's the large size one for
Sheffield Crystal
quarters. If you look, they make them in every different size.
Okay.
If you look at this one, this is the neck size, and they make them actually in 4 sizes.
Gotcha.
See that? And you weight the bobber to the jig.
Okay.
and that's the size I use for. This is a 1/64.
All right.
Oh no, 1/32, and then they make 1/64, and then you have the quarter, 3/8 halves, and they make them up to every size.
Okay.
And they're one of the most effective lures you'll ever imagine.
Okay.
I mean,
Bobber?
that's a misstatement. Most effective lure delivery system,
Okay.
whether you're throwing a jig, a wacky worm, little tiny 4-inch Ned worm, or a little 4-inch Yamamoto, you know,
Yeah.
wacky rigged, you'll catch bass all the time on those, especially fishing from shore.
Yeah. See, I'm new to that, so.
But that's what you need to do.
Okay.
Does that bobber glow in the dark like for nighttime?
It sure does. And that's why I'll do a lot of crappie fishing with those, but the issue is that it's called the Sheffield. These ones are.
Yeah, Sheffield
They
Crystal.
make a lot of them. This is Challenger lures, but there's several companies who make them. All right, I think I've done my, community service for the day.
As if you don't do enough already.
Now remember, what's the website, Joe? CJ Outdoors, and what does a fisherman use? .net. Okay?
I got you.
All right, my friend.
Don't worry. I'm gonna.
Good luck.
I'll throw it on there.
I'm out all the time. Every 3 days, I'm out 2 days fishing.
Okay.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too.
What time